Hi everyone, welcome back. Hope you're well and Happy New Year. Happy Eurovision New Year because as I'm sure we all know, 1st of September is officially the beginning of a new Eurovision season. It's come around very quickly. I can't believe how quickly that's happened. It's always really exciting to go into a brand new year of Eurovision and to have absolutely no idea what's going to happen, what's around the corner. Yeah, it's the anticipation for me. I can't wait. So, I wanted to make a video about our hopes for 2023 in terms of what music we'd like to hear, who we'd like to see representing certain countries, if we plan on attending the event. So I went on my community page asking you to tell me what your hopes are. And I went on Twitter as well. And I actually got a lot more of a response on Twitter than I did for YouTube, but I did get a few YouTube comments. So there's quite a lot to go through actually. I got loads of tweets, not loads of tweets, but quite an enough amount of tweets to make a video and YouTube comments as well. So thank you for all your comments, and I will go through them. First of all, I'll quickly go through what my hopes are for the year ahead. I won't take you long, hopefully. But yeah, I'll just quickly tell you what I would like Eurovision this year to be like. Um, well, first of all, I think it is something that will happen, and that is just for a great celebration. And that is what I think this year's show or event will be. It's going to be a really unique and special Eurovision. And of course, it's in the UK, which I still can't believe. It's just still so weird to think it's actually in the UK. And we keep going on about it, I know. I wonder if people from other countries are probably looking at the UK fans and thinking, why do you still keep going on about it? Like, why do you keep mentioning it all the time? Have you not gotten over it yet? And I just think it's, the reason why we're still kind of bewildered by the whole thing is because it's something that you don't expect. We wouldn't have expected this 5 years ago to have it hosted in the UK, and now it's actually happening. And in weird circumstances as well. So yeah, it is still kind of like a dream for UK fans that we haven't quite woken up from yet. So yeah, my hope is, because of that, is to join in the party and attend whatever I can for the first time to go to Eurovision. It's in your country, you have to go to it. I'm sure there's going to be so many of the UK fans there. It's going to be a huge event. So yeah, I'm looking forward to actually going there and celebrating. And my other hope is, I don't know if this will actually happen, but to get a ticket to one of the live shows, even if it's not the grand final, because I already know that is going to be very hard to do, to try and get a ticket to the live final. I'm not even expecting it, but I might try. But I would like to attend at least one of the live shows to have that experience of attending an actual Eurovision show in the arena. And I'm sure we all do as well. So yeah, that is one of my hopes, is to be there in some way, which I definitely will be, and maybe even go even further and try and actually be in the arena at some point. I also want the UK, and this is something that we all want. We've been saying this now ever since the end of the final for this year, that we want the UK to continue with this good path that we're on, and hopefully not go back to how we were before and go downhill all over again, and keep taking it seriously and putting in the effort. I think we will continue to put the work in, especially because you've got Junior Eurovision, the UK as a whole country, all four nations of the UK will be taking part in Junior Eurovision. And I think that just shows as well, that's another example or more proof of how we really do seem to be back in the game now in Eurovision. We really do seem to be, getting really involved, and hopefully this means that we will continue on that good path after Sam Ryder and will keep getting good results, hopefully. One thing I really liked about this year is, first of all, the range and quality of music, the different genres of music, and languages as well. Think of all those languages we had this year, like Icelandic, Dutch, Lithuanian, Breton, not even French, but Breton. Um, yeah, it just seemed to be a really good mix this year of different genres of music. And I say this every year, but I hope that continues as well, with different styles, different languages. I hope we continue with that, and I'm sure we will. So, yeah, let's say that those are my three biggest hopes for the year: attending the event and some shows, hopefully making the most out of the whole experience. Um, what was the one after that I said? Oh, the UK doing well again, and good music in general. So let's go to the YouTube comments on my post on my page, community page. Again, thank you for sending comments. Let's start with Cult Fiction. You're thinking or wondering if the UK will have a national final this year because we're hosting, because the BBC is hosting. Does this mean the BBC will want to be more involved in the selection process? And you prefer national finals rather than internal selections because it gives the people more of a say in the matter. Good point. Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not really. I'd be surprised if we had a national final. Really, I'm not really expecting it. I don't think many people are really expecting it. I think it will be quite a surprise if we do. Um, I don't know. I just imagine, or I'm assuming, that we'll just continue with this tap music internal selection, and it worked well for Sam Ryder. So, maybe, well, I imagine they'll keep going in that way. I think if it does get announced that we're having a national final, I think a lot of UK fans would not be happy about that, and they'd start thinking, oh no, why? Why have we gone back to a national final? Because our national finals are never really good, are they? So, um, yeah, I don't really know how I feel, what I think about it. All I can say is that I'm not expecting it to happen. Um, but it's a good question, though. I didn't really think about it because I just assumed that we would carry on with an internal tap music partnership, not a national final, but just an internal selection. Unless, like you say, we get a tap music national final. Um, Maybe it'll be a surprise. Um, yeah, we'll see. Next up is Rokas from Lithuania. Hello. First of all, you'd like to attend the grand final, and wouldn't we all? So you do want to come to the UK. Good. Hopefully see you there. And like I just mentioned, you're looking forward to seeing who will represent the UK after the huge success of Sam Ryder. There is a lot of anticipation about this, about what is next for the UK. How can we get even better than Sam Ryder? Can we keep going in this successful, positive way? I do think, or I wouldn't be surprised if they pick somebody in a similar kind of situation to Sam, where they're not very well known, but they are like an up and coming new artist, like a new emerging artist, like Sam was. Um, and then they get successful after Eurovision again, like Sam did too. So I imagine that is what they'll go for again. They'll try and find, it doesn't have to be somebody from TikTok, but somebody who is kind of known, not like really well known, but is, on the right path to do something good and make an impact in the UK, which Sam has. So you'd like to see Dua Lipa, who's your favourite singer in the British charts. I'm sure lots of people would love that. Um, but yeah, I can't see that happening. I think she is too famous, and you just know the people who wouldn't do it, the people who, you know, don't really need it or would just say no. Um, too big or too good to be true. So lots of people would love Dua Lipa because she is probably one of our most well-known artists in the UK. But I can't see that happening. But the most important thing for you is who will represent Lithuania. And like you rightly say, I agree, Lithuania is growing stronger and stronger since 2020 with the RUP. And I agree, they are. Lithuania are improving, I think, ever since the RUP. They did great this year with Monica Liu. 90, was it 93 points that she got in the final? Brilliant. And it was in Lithuanian as well. Yeah, I'd like to see Lithuania do well too, and looking forward to their national final as well. I think I mentioned this in a video before about Lithuania, but one of my favourite national final songs from this year was from Ruta Loop, Call Me From the Cold. And yeah, I'd like to see her come back. And yeah, I think Lithuania can keep going and give us some interesting national final songs, definitely. So let's move on to the comments from Twitter. My Twitter is in the description below, by the way. I tweet about everything. I'm always on Twitter, just saying how I feel. So feel free to follow. So first one, Phantom Stan. Good name. I am also a stan of phantoms. So you would like a country that doesn't usually do well to do really well or even win. Yeah, I think everyone would love that. I think the last time that happened was probably Portugal 2017 when they won, because before that Portugal were never in the final, were hardly ever in the final, and yet they come out and win the whole thing. So I think that was the last time that happened. I think at the moment the least successful countries are countries like Georgia, San Marino, countries that haven't won like Malta, Iceland, Lithuania, or even Ireland, coming back and doing well again, which they're definitely not now. So yeah, that would be interesting, definitely. And it could happen, you never know. Pavlo would like a big five country to bring a joke entry, something that goes viral and does very well with locals. Yeah, well, the big five, you've got some countries in the big five, like, well, definitely Italy and probably France as well, that are really at the top of their game. They take it seriously. And I think a big five country that would bring a joke entry or have brought joke entries in the past, one of them is the UK. Think of all the joke entries we've sent over the past 20 years. And probably Germany as well. Like, I Don't Feel Hate, I would call that a joke entry. Um, so I think we have sent joke entries, um, but maybe you don't expect it from certain countries in the big five, like Italy, but with others you do. Um, I mean, I'm sure it might not be the big five, but there is bound to be some country definitely that will give us a joke entry. There's always one every year. I'm sure we'll have at least one. Hopefully not too many, because with joke entries, I don't mind like one or two, like this year, like Norway. But I don't really support them overall. I don't want lots of them. One or two is okay, but we want to move past this whole joke entry thing. We don't want people to treat it as a joke anymore. So the less the better, but one or two is okay. JH Cuz, we've got some good ones here. Um, Something you'd like to do is get over your anxiety of attending a pre-party. That's a good one. And I can definitely say from my experience that I would recommend going to a pre-party, definitely. I did that for the very first time this year. It was my first ever Eurovision event I've ever been to, and absolutely loved it. And I'm already looking forward to going to the next London pre-party this year. I can't wait. It was brilliant. And I know what you mean about the anxiety, because we have friends in the outside world, outside this bubble in the community, that don't have the same interests that we do. So you're either going on your own or, well, the great thing is social media, because a lot of Eurovision fans make friends on social media. I have definitely. Um, and I can say that you will meet, or you can meet, some really nice people on Twitter, Facebook, whatever. Get involved in these groups, get together, and meet up with your internet friends in real life, and you'll love it. You won't regret it. So I wouldn't be afraid about attending a pre-party alone, because from experience, I have, and I met some lovely people, and I found everyone was very friendly, very welcoming, and you all just get along great and enjoy yourself. So, yeah, I recommend giving it a go. And I'm quite an introverted person as well. I'm quite quiet. I It's not that I'm not good at making friends, but it's just I need other people to kind of start the conversation and like help me out a bit. And that's the great thing about internet friends, is that you can talk to them online and then arrange to meet up at these events. So I definitely recommend doing that if you're worried about attending. Try and get together with some people online beforehand, and you will have a great time. So I definitely recommend going to a pre-party. I think what I'm saying is, if I can do it and feel comfortable doing it and have a great time, then I hope that you can too. Um, so yeah, I hope to see you at pre-party. I hope you can make it. I'd recommend it. Another one of your hopes is, because a rap song won this year, you'd like other countries to do different genres. I agree, especially because you've got Måneskin City Brony, rock and rap, followed by Kalush Orchestra with rap. I love that. Those two songs, two winning songs, back to back, different languages, rock, rap. I love that, and I hope that continues too. I think we do need more rap. Yeah, we do need more rap and more genres in general. I've said before, I don't want just pop music. I want different styles, and hopefully and I think it's likely that will continue. Yeah, so I definitely agree with that. And you'd like a new first time winner like Iceland. Again, yeah, definitely. Iceland, well, I mean, 2020, it's that ultimate question that we're all still thinking about. Could they have won in 2020? I think now that we've had the year after with 10 years, that song I don't think was as good as Think About Things, but the fact that that came fourth does make you think, well, if that can come fourth, then Think About Things would have definitely won the public vote at least, maybe win or come second or third. But yeah, we'll never know, but they could have done it. And if they do win, that would be really interesting to have it hosted in Iceland, in Reykjavik. Yeah, I think a lot of people would be happy with that. Not just Iceland, but other countries as well. And for this year, for the event in general, you'd like a show with a UK and Ukraine split. Something that can satisfy the whole community. And yeah, we've talked about this before, and I've talked about the host city for this year, the host country being the UK. And yeah, I think there will be a split of UK and Ukraine influence. I'm not sure if it'll be 50-50 exactly, or more, one of them more than the other. But it'll be interesting to see what they do exactly with that, and I'm sure it's going to be very special. Yeah, very special collaboration. Sami from Finland would like Finland to sing something in Finnish. Well, one of the favourites in UMK was definitely Ram Pam Pam by Bess. People loved that. That was a big fan favourite. I'm sure a lot of people would actually prefer that to the Rasmus. The Rasmus didn't do that well in the end, and I'm not sure really if Bess would have done that much better. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I wonder if she'll come back to UMK this year. Maybe I think people would like that because that song did seem to be a big favourite with fans during the national final season, and it was a good song. Yeah, so maybe she will come back, but I'm sure there'll be other Finnish songs in the national final as well. And Alice, a good friend of mine, I love Alice, she would like Sweden to sing something in Swedish. I think from all the Scandinavian or Nordic countries, the one that is least likely to sing something in their language is probably Sweden. I don't even know when was the last time they did sing something in Swedish. And yeah, you never really expect them to sing something in Swedish. You know that they're not going to do it, you just know. I know that they do have stuff in Swedish in Melfest, but they never really get that far. So yeah, I'm not really expecting that to happen either. I mean, one day maybe it will, if it's a really good song. But yeah, it's not something I really expect to happen. Fang would like the UK to not go back to old habits and to remain as a serious contender, like we said before. And that's a really good way of putting it. That's very well said, the perfect way to describe it. Don't go back to old habits. Our entries from the past 10 years or more have been a little bit embarrassing. A lot of them have. We don't want to go back to that. And yeah, we do want to remain as a contender, definitely. I think this is the thing that we're all thinking about, or UK fans, definitely. It's kind of like a nervous feeling, like, oh no, what are we going to do now after Sam Ryder? We probably can't get better than that, but at least stay on the same level as that. So yeah, there's a lot of anticipation for that. Yeah, nerve-wracking, but I hope we do well again. Kirsty would like Nightwish to take part in UMK. That would be interesting. Well, the fact that the Rasmus did UMK, that was such a huge thing. Nobody expected that. That was a big moment. I remember the day it was announced that the Rasmus were taking part. I was like, oh my god, the actual Rasmus! Like, the fandom collapsed. It was big. Um, and the fact that they did that, and they are one of Finland's most recognisable bands, the fact that Rasmus have done it, maybe that means that other bands like Nightwish could do it as well. So maybe that could happen, because I didn't expect the Rasmus to do that. Um, yeah, so maybe that means it could happen. The only problem I think there is that it would be more rock from Finland, and I don't mind that. I love that, but I wonder if people might want them to take a break from rock for the moment, for now. It's like with Cyprus, people complain about how Cyprus always do the same thing after Fuego. It could get to the point where people want something different from Finland as well. But personally, I don't mind, because I like rock and I always support rock in Eurovision. And Finland is known as a rock country in Eurovision. We rely on Finland for rock a lot of the time. So I don't mind that. Um, but yeah, because the Rasmus have done it, it's not impossible that maybe Nightwish will do it too. You'd like a female singer for Italy, for Sanremo. A lot of people say that. But it's like Sweden, Sweden before Cornelia, they were sending a man for a long time, and people wanted a woman for Sweden as well. They got that eventually. So maybe this year could be the year that we get a female for Italy. I don't mind though, because I think, you've got Damiano from Måneskin, Mahmood, Francesco Gabbani, Diodato, uh, Il Volo. Yeah, that they're all male contestants, but they've all been brilliant. And it's just that they all happen to be men, but they've all been great. Um, but yeah, I know what you mean. It is, probably time for a change. And maybe one of those well-known female Sanremo contestants will win Sanremo into Eurovision. One of my favourites from Sanremo from 2021 was Chiamami per nome from Francesca. Love that. And I'm a big fan now of La Representante de Lista, LRDL, from Sanremo, with Ciao Ciao. That was my favourite from Sanremo this year. I still love Ciao Ciao, and I love their new song Diva as well. And the lead singer is female there as well, so maybe, I hope they come back. I love LRDL, and I still love Ciao Ciao. So yeah, I mean, it's possible that it could be a female winner of Sanremo and a female representative for Eurovision. We'll see. And again, you'd like a country that's never won before as well. I think lots of people have mentioned that. And you'd like Czech Republic to continue qualifying. I hope they do too, because I think, I know they didn't qualify last year, but, and they did qualify this year, but they didn't do well, but I think they deserved more than what they got. I think we all agreed with that. So yeah, hopefully they continue to do, not just qualify, but maybe even get back into the top 10. I'm looking forward to the national final as well. Really good national final this year, so I hope they continue with that. So Reece Chambers, who I'm sure you all know from YouTube, and he's on Twitter as well, talking about the show in general on TV. Um, you would like not much going back and forth to the host in the green room every few minutes, and no more forced humour. Two things I definitely agree with. I think we all agree with that. Less green room and less cheesy attempts at humour, definitely. I think that's always been a part of the show, though. I think, unfortunately, I don't know if that will actually stop. Um, it's a good social media break, though. It's a good time to just go on your phone and catch up on Twitter with what people are talking about in those few minutes. But it is boring, those green room moments, and the show goes on for so long enough already. It just drags on at that point. So yeah, I completely agree with that. I don't know if that'll actually happen though, if that will ever stop. But that is something I would like to change about the show. You get to that part of the night in the voting and you think, okay, let's just we're here now. Can we just get on with it and just carry on with the voting? Because yeah, it does drag on a bit. So I do agree with that, definitely. And going back to Italy, or Sanremo, you'd like Annalisa to represent Italy. Um, yeah, I can't remember what she looks like because I haven't been watching Sanremo for that long, only for about like 2 years. But I do know Annalisa by name. I do recognise her name. I have to listen to the stuff again. I might have forgotten it. Um, I know Elodie is very popular as well. Elodie. Annalisa, I think, was she in the top three in Sanremo with Mahmood and Blanco and the other guy? Or was that somebody else? Was that Annalisa? I do know who you mean, but I I don't know exactly. I can't really name one of her songs. Um, but yeah, I think she is quite popular. So maybe she will win Sanremo one day. And we talk about countries that we want to see do well or don't usually do well. You've mentioned Latvia and Georgia. You'd like them to bounce back. A lot of people mention that as well. Latvia haven't qualified for a few years. Georgia are just doing whatever they want. They just send any random old thing. Actually, thinking of Latvia and Georgia, I think of 2015 when they both had good songs. Um, Latvia was Love Injected, that got top 10, I think. Georgia, Warrior, where it was in the final, and it is one of my favourite Georgian entries. And then 2016, Midnight Gold, brilliant, that got 12 points from the UK jury. But then after that, it went downhill, well, for both of those countries, really. So, yeah, those are two countries that really need to up their game. Um, yeah, we'll see. But yes, those are definitely two countries that are not doing that well at the moment. Just going back to Kirsty, another thing that she would like is for Ireland to be in the final again. They were so close for Brooke. It's a shame because That's Rich is one of my favourite Irish entries, and it was a favourite of mine this year. I really like it. Didn't quite make it though. It is a shame. I think they were close though. Um, but yeah, I didn't quite get there. I do know that there's a band called Wild Youth that I never knew before until now. They've been tweeting a lot about wanting to represent Ireland next year, so keep an eye out for them. I don't know if they're having a national final again or back to an internal selection. We don't know yet. But yes, yeah, Ireland uh, not doing great at the moment, but you never know, they could be in the final next year. Right, so final tweet. It's a very long video, I'm really sorry, it's so long. Last one now, from Blue Zone. You would like the UK and Spain to continue with a good streak. Definitely. It'd be funny if the UK and Spain both end up in the top three again next year, or if one of them goes downhill, one of them stays at the top, or if they both flop again. We just don't know. Um, so yeah, we definitely want that to continue. And for Germany to get their act together, definitely, I think we all agree with that. Germany made a big mistake not picking Electric Callboy. Yeah, big mistake. The whole radio friendly thing, like national final, was awful. That was a terrible national final. I mean, Malik wasn't that bad, you know. I know he came last, um, but it wasn't terrible, you know. It was the best that they had. Let's put it that way. Um, but yeah, Germany, wow, they are really at the bottom, at least out of the big five, if not in general. But you never know that with Germany, sometimes, like 2018, they do sort of surprise you and come back with a good entry. Um, they're sort of unpredictable. So you never know, maybe they will get their act together and really come back with something good. But I think it's got to the point now where we're not really expecting good things if they continue in this way. So yeah, they really do need to change. So there we go, that is it. Thank you for all of your responses, all of your comments. That was a good range of hopes for the future. A lot of them we all agree with, like certain countries doing better or doing well again. Um, Lots of mention of the UK continuing to do well as well. So yeah, thank you for sending me your ideas. And hope it wasn't too long. Well, it was long, but if you watch the whole thing, thank you for that. Much appreciated. I'll be back with more videos soon. I'm thinking of doing like an update video again of what we know so far video, because it is September now. We do know a few more things, and maybe even a wish list of artists or bands that I'd like to represent certain countries. So yeah, I'll have a think about that. But I'll definitely be back with more videos soon. So thank you for watching. The host city, the announcement should be, well, it's autumn, so it should be coming up within the next month or so. Can't wait for that to finally find out. Yeah, I'll see you very soon. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.